Tesla's first stock split was back in 2020, splitting 5-for-1 at a price of $2,000 per share. They did it again 2 years later at a price of $900 per share and a stock split of 3-for-1. And what if I told you that the next stock split could be as soon as 2024? That's right. Next year. I know it sounds pretty darn crazy and most likely you won't believe me. Well, welcome to Tesla stock. But the real question is, can they actually do a stock split in 2024? And before we get into the predictions and numbers and all that good stuff, there's a couple things that I learned on how Tesla do their stock splits. One of the things that I learned about Tesla doing a stock split is that they don't like to have their stock being in the thousands. As you guys already know, the first time they did a stock split, the stock was at $2,000 per share. The second time they did it, the stock was close to $1,000 per share. So this is a clear indication that they're saying that, yep, we don't want to see Tesla stock in the 4 digits. I mean, why would any company want to see their stock in the 4 digits? Thankfully, Google and Amazon did like a 20-for-1, thankfully. But in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to have your stock to be in the thousands. Just, doesn't make any sense. But most likely the next stock split that Tesla is going to do is going to be in the high hundreds. What number exactly? We don't know, but I'm going to put my finger on $800 per share. Now, the second thing that I realized about Tesla stock is that after they do a stock split, they don't want to go below $200 per share. They want to stay between the $200 to $300 per share. The least is in the high 100s. So that's pretty darn interesting. And in this video, in this prediction, we're going to be looking at these rules. Stock split in the high hundreds and after the split in the low hundreds. So let's get down to the numbers and see when Tesla will do the next stock split. Could it be 2024, 2025? Let's find out. All I ask in return, man, is a like and subscribe if you haven't already, man. Come on. Let's go. This is my Tesla stock prediction chart all the way from pretty much now till 2030. You guys can pause and nerd out to see what I'm doing, what I'm thinking here. But here are some things that you should know. First off the bat, you guys may look at 2030 and say 14 million vehicles deliveries. Seriously, man? Come on, man. It's supposed to be 20 million. And yes, I do agree. 20 million is going to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen by 2030. Probably 2032, 2033. Just to stay safe, I'm not a Tesla bear or anything. As you guys know, I'm going all into Tesla stock. But I put here 14 million vehicles deliveries by 2030, staying conservative. FSD here is at a one-time fee. As you guys can see, I am increasing it year over year, but I put it at a 15% conversion rate. Now, we don't have the subscription numbers. We don't know how many they're paying on a monthly basis, how many customers are paying on a monthly basis. We don't have those numbers yet. So based off that, 15% of any new vehicles being sold, we are going to assume that they're going to convert or get or pay the full 15,000 or whatever the number is for the FSD one-time price at that respected year for FSD. As well as the FSD profits does increase 2% every single year. In 2023 is 50% and in 2030 it ends at 62%. At this point it should be much higher than this, but based on some research, this is the numbers that we get. Total energy revenue and profits, as you guys can see. And last but not least, shares outstanding. I did dilute them about 1% every single year. I'm assuming there's not gonna be any buybacks whatsoever, even though we're pretty much guaranteed to get a buyback here in 2023. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna play out, but I'm keeping it conservative. You guys already know, 1% dilution every single year for the shares outstanding. It makes a difference. And the EPS, as you guys can see, yes, I am saying 2023 EPS is gonna be $5 per share. Some people are saying that's bullish. I don't think so. I think we are going to be surprised on how Tesla's going to perform this year. I think it's going to be flipping crazy how good they're going to perform this year. And as well as you guys can see, I'm saying $45 is an EPS by 2030. So that's flipping insane. Now let's figure out what the stock prices would be and figure out when they will do a stock split. If you guys are ready, man, then why isn't that like button smashed? Like, come on. Come on, man, let's go. So 2022, we already have that figured out at 50 PE, around $201 per share. But in 2023, right now, the PE is around 60. And we are still in a bear market. So that's pretty darn impressive. So I'm going to say 60 PE here for 2020, end of 2023 as well. Because most likely we are going to be in a bull market by end of this year at least. Or at least halfway through this year. Nobody knows. But I'm hoping by end of this year, inflation is down. Interest rates slowly gets paused or maybe even gets cut. Fed pivot, all these things will, trigger the next bull market, and it's going to be a violent bull market. You can quote me on that. But a 60 PE would be a stock price of $300 per share and almost $1 trillion valuation. Now again, some of you guys will go like, you're still bearish, Tesla 60 PE doesn't make any sense when, Nvidia right now is at 80 PE and Amazon is at 100 PE. So you're just being very conservative and bearish. I'm just being conservative. But Gary Black is saying a year from now, or a 12-month target, or pretty much end of 2023, a stock price of $370 per share. That would mean a PE of 74 PE, which is absolutely insane, which would be almost a 1.2 trillion valuation. So that's crazy. Or is it? We'll see how it plays out. This year, obviously, stock split is not going to happen. $370 per share. 2024, personally, in my opinion, I'm saying a PE of 50, which would be a stock price of $400 per share. But if we're in a bull market, and man, the market could get really irrational, like we just witnessed in the bear market. I mean, stocks coming down 80%, like Tesla, Meta, Netflix. For what? These guys are cash printing machines. Why do their stock have to come down 80%? That's triggered by fear. That's not based on fundamentals. It's not based on looking at numbers and looking at projections. It's all fear. You sell, I sell, he sells, she sells, because everybody is selling. Same thing happens in a bull market. You buy, I buy, it keeps going up. FOMO, like I got literally last week when the stock price literally went from $102 to $212. Flipping Tesla stock, man. It can double in a month. This is Tesla stock, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Tesla stock in 2024 reaching a PE of 100. Again, things could get irrational, whether in a bear market or a bull market. Things could get irrational, and 100 PE will give the stock price of $797 per share and a market cap over $2.5 trillion. Now, you guys can comment down below if you guys believe that Tesla will be worth $2.5 trillion by end of 2024. That's up to you to decide. I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm just going based on how the stock market feels. And if it goes this high, I'm not gonna buy because this is just expensive. My target here is a 60p at the most of about $500 per share, and that's the max, I believe. But if Tesla stock wants to be irrational and the whole market wants to be irrational and gives it 100 PE, well then we could probably see a stock split happening in 2024, which would be a sheesh moment, really. Now, what kind of stock split are we looking for if this happens? Well, as mentioned before, Tesla, after doing a stock split, they like to be in the low hundreds, preferably in the 200s. So easily we can say a 4-for-1 stock split, as I have up here. And PS guys, yes, I do believe the next stock split could be a 4-for-1. Let's see what will happen in the next couple of years or so. You can quote me on that as well. So with that, if you give it a 4-for-1 stock split, that's $200 per share in 2024. Now, if we want to go ahead and ride this bull market in 2025, most likely the P is going to get dropped down to like maybe a 70. If you want to keep it, rational, most likely it won't be, rational. Probably be in the 80 PEs, but let's say 70 PE, $818 or $204 per share after the split. 2026, you could give it a 55 PE of $960 per share, or a 4-for-1 stock split of $240 per share. Then a 40 PE in 2027, giving it $250 per share. 35 PE, $273 per share. 30 PE, $289 per share. And if you want to give it a PE of 27, you could say $302 per share by 2030. In my opinion, I don't think we'll see Tesla stock in the 30 PE, 20 PE, unless you have another major crash like we did earlier this year or late last year of 2022. I think Tesla stock will be trading in on the average on the 50 PE this decade, and then next decade, if there isn't another major innovation that could take this stock to new heights, we can probably see the stock price hovering between the 25s and 35s. Probably even in the low 20s. This decade, average 50. Next decade, maybe average 30s, in my opinion. So let's see if I'm right or wrong. I don't know. This is only a prediction alone. Now, this is in the bull flipping case, man. When do I actually believe Tesla could do a stock split? Well, let's roll it back a bit. First off, in 2023, my target is a 60 PE of a $300 per share. 2024, I'm saying a 50 PE of about $400 per share. 2025, a PE average of 45 PE. 2026, an average of 40 PE, giving it $700 per share, and an average of 2027 PE there of 35. So really between 2026, 2027, I'm really feeling 2026, early 2026 could be the first announcement of a stock split if we keep things not in a bull market, not in a bear market, just in a base market, in my opinion. Let's increase the 40p to 45p so we can get at least 800. So yeah, around here, around 2026, about a 2.5 trillion market cap. Again, in 2024, when we did that 4-for-1 stock split at the 100p, it was also a $2.5 trillion market cap. So it looks like Tesla stock could potentially do another stock split in a 2.5, 2.25, 2.75 market cap there, which the stock price would be between $700 to $900 per share. And with that, in 2026, 4-for-1 stock split, again, just below $200 per share. Now, this is what I believe what most likely could happen if I'm keeping things rational. But the stock market is not rational, and we could see 100 PE again 2024 for the last time, or maybe not for the last time. I really don't know. All I know is that long term, Tesla stock is gonna be split at least few more times. I'm guessing at least 2 more times this decade, a couple more times in 2030, depending on how they grow. One thing I do want to mention is that if they do a stock split around these prices, around $200, $300, a post split of 4-for-1, most likely the next time they'll do a stock split is when the stock goes to around $500 to $600 per share, which could really be at the end of this decade, or maybe at the early stages of 2030s. Let's see what will happen, man. The future is bright for Tesla. That's all I gotta say. So the earliest time Tesla could do a stock split in the bullish case is next year, 2024. Most likely end of 2024, but in my opinion, I think that's highly unlikely. But again, Tesla stock is a different breed. It gets irrational sometimes, going up to 100 PE and going down to a 30 PE, which doesn't make any sense. But that's Tesla stock for you. And the latest, in my opinion, they can do the next stock split is between 2026. Really, I think 2026 is the sweet spot. I'm thinking between 2025 to 2027, between these 3 years. But I'm thinking 2026 is a solid year that we should already done a split or preparing to do one. So that's going to be the interesting year, 2026. And then 2027, we got the invasion. Whoops, we got the invasion of Taiwan. Hopefully that doesn't happen, and then we can see a bear market then. I really don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. But anyways, a stock split early as 2024 or as late of 2026. 4-for-1, quote me on that again. So it's going to be darn interesting. Let's see what will happen. Comment down below, when do you guys think the next stock split will be? Curious to know. But if you're curious to know what Tesla's production and delivery numbers and their stock price could be, check out this video first, then check out this one. You won't regret it. Don't forget to check out some merch, go all in t-shirts and posters, and support the channel by becoming a channel member, man. Come on. And don't forget to subscribe, guys, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.